Welcome to the Back Post with me, Rob Lilly. This week I am joined by Pete and Scott.
Good to be back.
Evening.
Evening.
Good to be back.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, all fit and well.
Well enough. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But, we'll see how long the voice lasts. if the voice don't last long enough, then I'll have to be ejected. But so yeah, good to be.
We might
missed
have
it last
we
week.
might have to nudge Pete awake, I think,
Yeah.
based on your Bundesliga 2. Was it Bundesliga 2, wasn't it? It was, yeah.
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 I was awake for 24 hours without sleep. So yeah, today's a bit of a struggle, but
Endurance, man.
I'm here for everyone. I'm fighting through. So I have to get up at 6 o'clock tomorrow for work. But anyway, yeah. Marvellous.
Well, I mean, I'm lucky I'm here. I mean, like I say, I was dead to the world.
Yes.
I was dead to the world on Saturday. So yeah, it's the time of the year, I think.
It is.
Right, well, later on in the show, we will be joined in the studio by Daniel Mann, an Essex FA referee. So we're going to put him in the spotlight.
Yeah.
But first, at the summit, Saltaire Hamlets and Little Oakley locked horns in a clash that could decide who takes top spot as we move ever closer to a festive December. Further down the table, Holbridge Sports faced Harwich and Parkston in a match that could drag one side deeper into trouble, while Athletic Newham met Hackney Wick, knowing that every point is a lifeline. Welcome to the Essex Senior League show. Welcome back. We will start on Tuesday the 18th with the results. The first one being the Essex Senior Cup. 4th round tie between Great Wrecking Rovers and Haybridge Swifts. Great Wrecking Rovers getting the edge over Swifts. Goals by Sean Gittleson, 16th minute, Harrison Topless in the 78th, and Joshua Parker own goal in the 82nd. Good win.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think Hayward are somewhat having problems off the field, aren't they? So
Yes.
At the moment.
Yeah, but that's a great win for. It's a good win for Wakering. The home form is excellent, isn't it? It's just the away. It's away from home. They're not so
It
good.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is away from.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's a good. Into the quarterfinals of the Senior Cup, where I believe they have Chancellor City at home. So
Yeah.
Back themselves at home, won't
that will that'll
Yeah.
be a good
Yeah.
payday, hopefully for them.
In fact, we'll actually put the draw up on screen.
Yeah, no,
So,
yeah. I mean, they're the only Senior League team left now, aren't they? So
Yeah.
So well done to get to quarterfinals for an achievement.
Well done, Marcus. And well
Very
done,
good. Yeah.
all the squad at GWR.
Right, Little Oakley hosted Billericay Town. Billericay Town triumphant, 2-1 on the day. Ollie Parsons opened the scoring for Billericay Town, 39th minute, followed by Liam Nash just before the hour, and a late consolation goal by Louis Arnold in the 90th for Little Oakley.
I managed to read a little bit about this game. For what I managed to glean, Oakley made it quite difficult for Billericay, and considering that it's 2 levels, isn't it? 2 levels gap.
Yeah, 2 levels. Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously Oakley were buoyed by their win against Dagenham Redbridge, or the youth, probably the young Dagenham Redbridge side, probably in the previous round. Not to take anything away from Oakley's achievement, but I mean, Billericay obviously got a good record in that competition as well. But yeah, they made it tough, and credit to Billericay to get through to next round, because that's a good win.
Okay, so we move to Tilbury next. Tilbury at home to Harwich and Parkston. Tilbury 1, Harwich and Parkston 0. Goals scored by Kieran Jones in the 22nd minute. So good win that for Tilbury.
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like Harwich obviously putting a good showing.
Yeah.
Against step 4 opposition. Obviously, Tilbury used to be in the Senior League not too long ago. So, but yeah, no, I think Harwich will take a lot of positives from that.
Well, it's a
loss, but
it's a long old jaunt, isn't it, for a Tuesday night for Harwich?
For Harwich, yeah, blimey, yeah.
That's a long journey for them.
Yeah,
especially on the A12.
So I think they've done well there.
Yeah,
I think they'll take a lot from that, despite the defeat. And take it into the league form now, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that was the last of the midweek games. So we moved to Friday's game.
Sam?
Yeah.
Dancing in the streets.
We'll be dancing as we go through this as well, to be fair.
And the reason why he's doing that, Saffron Walden Town visiting Woodford Town. And coming away with a 4-1 win. Sam Deering opened the scoring in the 24th. They were pegged back. Pedro Carvalho in the 45th.
Yeah.
Deering scored again. Oh no, tell a lie. Khalil Green scored in the 55th. Sorry. Yeah. Henry Mambassa scored in the 61st, and then Deering again in the 65th. So some goals scored there in a short space of time.
Well, 3 goals for Walden in the first 20 minutes of the second half. I mean, that's quite hard for any team to sort of answer that back, really. But excellent result for Walden. They're getting known for their away wins, aren't they? You know, when they won at Solshower Hamlets a few weeks ago, they're getting known for that. So careful.
Well, 5 games away from home.
Yeah,
which is
maybe Sam's getting used to.
They're the best away record in the league, pretty much, almost. Ironically, Woodford Town.
Yeah. I was saying maybe Sam's getting used to dancing in the street as well. So.
As I heard, dancing on the ceiling by Blancmont earlier, and I was thinking, yeah, that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
But no, what a bounce back from Walden after that absolute devastating loss the weekend before.
Yeah.
Just shows him. I was saying to him that would be a hard one to get over, but they got over it quite quickly.
Quite quickly, yeah.
And went to Woodford and scored 4. That's a really good result for Walden. And fair play to him. That was some answer to the 5-0 loss before that. So.
Do you think that would have done any damage to Woodford, apart from a bit of a knock in confidence?
Probably not. I think Woodford. I mean, the problem with this, but the thing with this division is there are teams in that division who can do that to any team on their day.
Yes.
And Woodford had chances as well, by all accounts, but Walden were just clinical.
Yeah.
And got the job done really well. So
it's a bit of a strange stat. I'm just looking on the screen here. Of the 4 losses that Woodford have had, 3 of them have come at home.
Yeah, no. But they've only conceded 9 at home.
Yeah.
So they've only conceded 5 at home before that, and so to lose 3 games, and so they're not.
That's a quirk, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. Sorry, get those now and again, but that's a.
I mean, it's opened up the top of the table a bit more, hasn't it?
Well,
there's 5. Well, there's only 4 points to the top 5. So, and Ilford are only 5 points off the top now, which will obviously come on to them. But I mean, wow, it's a very, very competitive division.
It is.
That's for sure.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we're going to Saturday. So I had a brain fade there. Well, I didn't fall asleep, I promise. Athletic Newham took on Hackney Wick at Parslow's. And so an entertaining 5-goal game. Newham coming out on top by 3-2. It was Akiljo Balliu who put Newham ahead on 11 minutes, only for Adam Chinetti to equalise in the 25 minutes. Victor Dalsweird, though, put Newham back in front 7 minutes before half-time. But back came Wick once again in the 66th minute from Leo Lepetti. Who else? And then it looked like it was going to be a draw until 2 minutes from time, Jonathan Ogun Sanya netted a penalty in the 88th minute, and that's proved to be the winner and hand Newham a big 3 points down at the bottom of the table.
It's a big 3 points.
It is, and Newham do like their goal-scoring captains as well. The last sort of season or two, but Ogun Sanya was previously at Buckhurst Hill, I think, if I remember correctly. And he put in a few important goals when he was there as well. So it's nice to see that he's continuing to do that for Newham. But yeah, as you say, big 3 points to put Newham further clear of bottom 2, which no doubt will be present in their minds. But for Wick, you could say, I mean, that was their first loss away from home.
Yeah,
Intriguingly.
yeah. But I mean, and it's funny they dropped to 11th now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They just started to kick on a bit.
6 points off the playoffs, down 11th.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to put a joint caveat with going down to 11th because
This is the thing.
top 10 being so tight.
Yeah, I mean, you can lose a game and go down a few places. Win a game and go up a few plaaces.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I mean, it is quite literally proving that everyone is beating everyone at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's so hard to predict what's going to happen when you go to the fixtures, because you're not really sure what's going to happen. This is the thing. Anything can happen. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think Wick will obviously to come back twice and still lose the game. They'll be disappointed, but
Yeah.
they're still in good shot of the top 5, aren't they? Even though they lost.
Yeah. Well,
New, that's a big deal. Newham now 5 points ahead of West Essex in second bottom now.
I was going to say, like you said before, Hackney Wick, they've only got to win a couple of games and they'll boom, boom.
Yeah, so they've got the firepower to do it as well. So
yeah, Athletic Newham's obviously taken them away from the bottom.
Yeah, I was going to say,
well,
5 points, 5 point gap now.
Yeah.
So that was a huge win for them.
Yeah.
But I think Newham, I keep saying it, I think Newham in a false position. I think they are better than where they were. They've got the firepower to get out of it as well. So, well, onto the most informed team in November. I mean, Buckhurst Hill went to Basden United, who were also playing well themselves. This was a battle of two informed teams, actually. And Buckhurst still netted a 3-1 win at the Hive. Ollie Fernandez handing them a 4th-minute lead. Arthur Massingham with yet another goal to double the lead, 56 minutes.
Yeah.
And Tyler Dolan, another goal.
Yeah.
In the 64th minute, made it 3-0. Basden did reply, got a consolation for Jack Wilson with 20 minutes to go, but Buckhurst still ran out 3-1 winners. So, flying at the moment.
And up to 10th.
Up to 10th, yeah.
With that win, which is fab.
They've won 4 out of 4 in November in the league. So
they most definitely have been 3 Weetabix every morning, haven't they?
I mean, I want what they're having.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I definitely need it at the moment.
Other energy cereals are available.
A bit ones with chocolate in is even better. But no, and they're just. I mean, we saw it against Benfleet, and we thought, wow, they're going up forward. They were quite tasty, and they just carried it on. I mean, really. I mean, there were 5-0 win at Saffron Walden last week. Really raised a few eyebrows and thought, oh, they're definitely ones to look out for now. Because I can't remember the last two anyone who went to Caton's Lane and won 5-0. I mean, it's unheard of. So, but yeah, they got another good win away against the Basden side, who have really have actually improved.
Yeah.
In the last few weeks. So
yes.
Well, I mean, the run they're on has brought them right the way into
playoffs. Along with about
literally just outside now,
about a dozen other sides. Yeah, I mean, it's like once you go on a run, you're suddenly in the playoff mix.
Yeah, pick a team, any team.
Yeah, it's just an incredible run of form in November though for Mark and the boys. They'll be enjoying it at the moment. So that's for sure.
Yeah, just a short word as well, as you say, Pete, for Basden as well. Mention for co-managers James Pugsley and Lee Connor, because they've sort of similar to Newham, really. I mean, United are 3 points ahead of Newham at the moment, and they've sort of garnered them away out of immediate danger. Let's say, as far as the bottom two goes. So credit to them,
because you did worry for them.
Yeah,
but then when James and Lee came in, I was sceptical, and I said this last week as well. I was, they've done a really good job, and Lee actually did thank me on X after the show, because he was very thankful for the comments. I mean, but if people are due credit, then they should get it, shouldn't they? So,
absolutely.
And they're definitely now looking up rather than down, I would say.
Yeah. I think
whereas before they were I was a bit worried for them, but yeah. So, but yeah, there's no harm in losing to Buckhurst still at the moment, because they're absolutely flying. So
yes.
Great Wakefield Rovers. Well, they continue their good home form. with another win, although it was a narrow win against bottom side Brentford. 1-0 was the scoreline, and it was a Bradley Rowland goal 2 minutes into the second half that proved the difference to hand Wakering an important win. And they're 6th at home in the season, so
Yeah, I think for Wakering it's more they had to chalk up a win, just to sort of get back onto that, just to get a W in the column,
yeah.
After the last few run of results.
If they'd failed to win, they would have been down with Buckhurst and Hackney Wicks.
Yeah,
I mean they were in 10th before this game, so they did. It's got them. They're just keeping tabs on the top 5 at the moment. So, but they do have games in hand on some above them. But even so, it's just keeping in, aren't they? Another Brentford though. It's a 4-point gap to 4th bottom.
Yes.
I don't think that's true. I think it was that before, but so close one though. But I mean, considering they've lost 6 out of 7 away from home,
yeah,
they haven't, and only got a point all season.
Yeah,
I think they'll take some heart out of a battling.
Unfortunately,
battling
team.
display away at Wakering, although
defensively,
ultimately they did lose the game. So, but sometimes you got to take the best. I mean that win against Halstead would have certainly given them a lot of confidence. So they've just got to try and build on that.
Only team not to win away at the moment.
Exactly. Talking of Halstead, see that segue.
Top draw.
Still do it with very little brain power, but it's all good. Just muddle through.
Just do it on instinct.
Halstead and Benfleet were involved in a very entertaining game at Rosemary Lane. As they drew 3-3. Joe Alder put Halstead ahead on 12 minutes. Aaron Russell levelled 8 minutes for the break.
Yeah.
George Frodsham then put Halstead back in front 4 minutes into the second half. But Billy Carter levelled on 68 minutes. Kane Gilbert then put Halstead back in front again. And you think, now they're going to win it. But no, it wasn't. Jake Godfrey then levelled with 10 minutes to go, and it ended 3-3. Quite an entertaining game.
An entertaining game in front of an enormous crowd of 785.
That's impressive. Isn't it?
Which for fifth tier of non-league is fabulous. I mean, we mentioned several times, haven't we, that Clapton CFC get the big crowds in Step 6. I mean, I think that's about as close as
getting close to Clapton. Yeah,
nobody gets those all crowd though. It's mad, isn't it? I mean, it's crazy. They've certainly. The thing is, they obviously do. They obviously make the match day experience an enjoyable one.
Yes,
we know they do because we've experienced it ourselves.
Yeah.
And people want to keep coming back, and then they'll invite other people back. Yeah, come and experience this, and that's half of what it has to be like, because the football's great, but if they don't have a good experience out here, they're not going to come back.
This is it though, isn't it? It's the consistency of the match day experience rather. We keep talking about consistency on the pitch.
Yeah.
But the consistency with the match day experience is also a very important thing, and that's one thing that we've said several times, I think, now, that they do.
Yeah, they're one of the better clubs to visit for sure.
Yeah.
At this level.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere, to be honest. I mean, I've been at all sort of levels. You get much better experiences at this down here at this level than you do probably higher up, because it's not much of an interaction with the clubs as such. But at this level, for sure, if you do some of them, you get a really good. They actually make you feel welcome, and it's like they actually are happy for you to be there.
Yes,
supporting their club. So even for the away people, they like, because you're spending your money at the club, and they're very appreciative of it. So, but it was a very entertaining game. Benfleet obviously fought back 3 times to get a point, which they would be more than happy with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kept Benfleet in the run, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And their away form isn't great. And House is not the easiest place to go. I mean, they've got a very good home form. So.
Makes you think, though, doesn't it? If you sort of peg the host back 3 times, I think you deserve to take something out of the game, really.
Yeah. They'll be frustrated they're conceding the goals, though. They've conceded 19 away from home this season, which is more than a lot of teams down the bottom of the division.
True, but you already mentioned that last visit to Buckhurst Hill a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They'll be very happy that
since
overall,
then.
they had a much better overall sort of reaction, shall we say, and staying in the game, which is the important facet of how they play as well.
Yeah, exactly. No, that'd be very, very. I think to get a point at Halstead is a very good result. So
yeah, no, I would agree,
especially when you go behind 3 times as well.
Yeah,
indeed. And Halstead sitting 5th in the table as well, very well placed, as we keep saying.
One of many that have got a chance of even winning the league altogether. Then just playoffs. I mean,
yes,
you've got to dream big, haven't you?
Yes, they certainly can. Right, we move on from the Saturday action onto the Royal Oak and Harwich and Parkston's 2-1 win over Holbridge Sports. And the win for Harwich takes them up to 14th. Zachary Pedro with both goals for Harwich on 16 minutes and 65. Recent recruit Ellis Devereaux getting a late goal for Holbridge on 82. Their woes, that's 11 losses out of 16, which is unlike them, even in the last sort of 18 months. That's unlike them. But I mean, I suppose they'll be quite pleased that they sort of stayed in the game as long as they did, because it could have been, you think about it, could have been worse. But yeah, I think for them, much like we were just saying about Wakering, they need to get 1-0s at home.
They need to win at home.
They need to win.
It doesn't really matter how they do it. It's just that they get.
They've scored 5 goals at home all season. I mean, it's appalling.
But 16 goals away, which is interesting.
Yeah, they've got +2 goals away from home,
which is really interesting.
In the third from bottom. But that says how bad their home form is. So,
yes.
And they've really got that. That's what they've got to sort out is the home form, because home form is everything. And,
it is.
But I think they've just got to sort their form out in general.
It is, but I will put a little bit of a silver lining or a glimmer there. But if they can keep Devereaux for a while, he can get goals.
What I will say about Holbridge is they've got a very young manager at the moment. And you've got to cut him some slack, because he's learning on the job, and this is really tough league. And so...
Yes, for both of them.
It must be immensely frustrating and upset for him and for them what is happening at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yes, they're not in a good position, but I think they're sort of learning on the job at the moment, so to speak, and it's a hard one. But I would say for Harwich, that's a big win.
Yes.
Because they're in danger of getting sucked into it.
Yeah. And
now they've put a bit of daylight between them and the ones down towards the bottom. So, there's 8 points to relegation now.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But Harwich's home form, I think, will be key this season.
It's really interesting. We're getting to the stage of the season where the sort of stats start to, to be a little bit telling. And they're actually, Matt Carmichael, the manager, won't like me saying this, I'm sure, but joint second worst goal scorers.
Yeah.
Harwich. So I'm sure that's something that they're looking to remedy very shortly. But it's interesting, but it just goes to show how important it is to stay in games, and they've done that.
Well, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you win your home games. You are, you're reasonably well off.
I think for teams that are struggling towards the bottom, or just they're not so good. If you make your home like a hard place to win at, then
yes,
you're halfway there, aren't you? So.
Yes. Well, speaking of home wins, I think we'll give Rob the segue. Sort of mention there.
Yeah. Cha-ching. Oh, dear.
Couldn't possibly follow that. Right, next to Crookenfield, we have a very good win for Ilford, 2-1 over Sporting Bengal United. Daniel Isaacor put Ilford ahead on 16 minutes. Michael Adu doubled the lead for Chris Davis' side on 32 minutes. Nice symmetry there, 16 and 32.
Yeah.
But Bengal did halve their arrears in first half. Stoppage time, Brandy Makundi with their goal in this game, and it stayed 2-1 through to full time. And we was talking about this off air. With that win, Ilford up to 6th, which that's some going, fair play. Bengal hovering, I suppose you'd say hovering over the bottom to a little bit because they're 17th, fourth bottom, 3 points above the bottom two. And but another curious stat for Bengal, they've only played 5 home games, but they've got sort of the majority of their points so far from their away games. So that's another interesting little quirk. But they made it from scoreline. It looks like they made it a tricky game for Ilford there.
Sporting were probably unlucky to not get some of this game based on the second half of what I saw on X on Saturday. Ilford were hanging on a bit at the end, so I think Sporting really did give them a test, shall we say? But Ilford just don't know how to not win at the moment, or not. No. They don't know. They just don't lose games at the moment, do they? They just find ways of
another form team, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Well, they've been in form for the last couple of months, haven't they?
Yeah,
month and a half.
What makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? Because would the Ilford of a couple of seasons ago manage to hold on to win that game? It's an interesting question to raise.
No, probably. I don't think they would have done, because I think they would have caved in. They was. I said this last week. They used to have periods of games, 10, 15-minute periods, where they would just fall to pieces. And one of those was against Sporting Bengal a couple of years ago, when they were 2 up at half time and were 4-2 down in an hour. It just don't know where it came from, but they're much more robust now.
Yeah,
they just know how to. They know how to win games, and they've got players who score goals as well.
Yeah.
So this is why they are doing so well at the moment. And,
well, I mean, they've got a game in hand over Halstead.
They have.
So if they win that, they'll go above them anyway.
They're genuine playoff contenders.
Oh, yeah.
The way they're going at the moment, I don't see why they aren't.
Yeah.
So, but then you can say it for, as we say, for about half the league.
Yeah,
so,
say that for top 11.
Top 11, yeah. Exactly. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? But no, good well done to Ilford for digging out a result for sure.
Definitely. Right, the next game at Maysbrook. Well, one thing I will say is this.
Wow.
106 spectators saw a match that really did seesaw, but seesaw late on in this case. It finished Romford 3, White Ensign 3, but that probably doesn't quite do justice to the game, in fairness. Ensign skipper Reece Latimer puts the visitors ahead after only 5 minutes, to which they doubled that advantage from the penalty spot thanks to Emmanuel Sergio on 14. And then 9 minutes after the resumption, Henry Hart made it 3-0 to Ensign. And you're thinking, are they on their way to a very valuable 3 points for them as well? But didn't quite end that way. And we hear the cliche super sub. This was definitely the case on this occasion, because all 3 Romford goals came from substitutes. First of all, Lewis Brown got quick fire double on 89 and 90 plus 3, and then recent recruit Rian Fowler a minute later secured I don't want to be harsh, but an improbable draw. I think it's fair to say, for Romford, given over 3 goals down. And Romford got the point, which takes them above, takes them a point clear of Bengal and takes them up to 16th. But Ensign finally scoring goals, which is away from home as well, which is definitely what we want to see, them scoring goals. But that point sees them stay, I think, or they're in 12th anyway.
Yeah.
But and adding to a decent away record, it's the home form for them. It's a little bit tricky at the minute, but
it's a crazy scoreline. You know, you're 3-0 up going into the 89th minute of a match.
Yes.
You know that seesaw you're talking about? I mean, Ensign had control of that seesaw for they were the ones in control, and then it's only flipped the other way in the last few minutes, and they got flung off out of the park. I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? He's 3-0 up with what was effectively 5-6 minutes to go.
Yes.
Yeah. And he don't win the game. They will be sick.
I can imagine Aaron Bloxham would be.
That is just
completely red-faced.
It'd be like defeat. It'd be like
yeah. Well, that's the way they've got to treat it. I know they're getting the point out of it.
You're 3-0 up away from home, cruising as it seems, and then But fair play to Romford. I mean, they just kept going. I mean, obviously the manager making those subs obviously was a masterstroke, wasn't it? Obviously changed it up a bit because it wasn't working, and lo and behold, they even at 3-0 in 89 minutes, you're still thinking, well, if we can get at least a goal back, maybe. You don't expect to get a point after that, do you? That's no, fair play to Romford. They've had a really difficult season as well, and I think and their home form is dire, should we say? So that certainly will be.
I mean, that quite literally is playing up to the final whistle.
Well, yeah, but that's you just got to keep going, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's proof that you do keep going. The game's never lost or never won until the final whistle.
Get your just
result. It's a cliche, I know, but it is true. So and that, incredible comeback. It really was. So.
It is. Great credit to both sides for what they put into that game.
Yep.
As well. Right, as Rob foreshadowed earlier on, this next game at Mile End saw Little Oakley emerge with a very good 3-1 win at Saltower Hamlets. Louis Arnold again on the score sheet on 32. Josh McFall made it 2-0 on 69. And then Luke Hipkin made it 3 for Oakley. Steve Carvell did get a penalty midway into the second half. It would have been level. It would have been 1-1 at that stage, but Oakley push forward and do what they've done quite often this season, score goals and make it difficult for the opposition as well. And that win sees them lift themselves up to second, just 2 points behind their opposition here.
Yeah. And,
after all, Hamlet's still unbeaten away from home. Well, both sides actually unbeaten. But I can't help but think that the conditions may have played a factor in this one.
I mean, yeah.
Very wet Saturday it was, wasn't it?
It was quite wet. But again, all the games went ahead.
True.
I know you got it's a good result for Oakley, that's for sure. Because a big moment in this game was after Tower Hamlets equalised, Oakley went and scored straight away, because I think that kind of sort of deflated or debunked any sort of comeback or Hamlets getting on top of them, because it could easily gone the other way. Hamlets get an equaliser, you're thinking, all right, we're now level.
Yeah. But the good thing is, it's actually put top spot within reach of Oakley now. If they play that game,
it's in their control. They win their game and they're in the top of the league, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So they've played the least amount of games out of everyone in the top 5 as well. So they're in a fabulous position right now.
Yeah. Win that and they go a point above Tower Hamlets.
The other thing as well, co-managers Paul Phelan and James Good were presented with their Manager of the Month.
They were
award.
They were.
The show sort of decided to give them. So good on them for that. The last game at Wadham Lodge, my word, 7 goals finished. West Essex 1, Barking 6, and it started well for West. They took the lead.
They did
through that man Reece Simpson on 6 minutes, but unfortunately for Trevor Grace's side, that was pretty much as good as it got on this day.
Mm-hmm.
Alfie Attrell levelled for the Blues on 8 minutes, and then before long they were 3-1 up with an own goal, Durilli own goal on 12 minutes, and Chaka Barnett with his first of the afternoon on 19. And then straight after, just before half-time rather, Barnett gets his second, and Nassim Ragui also on target for Craig Edwards' side. And they polished off a very good afternoon's work for them, with Tyrese Robertson notching just past the hour to seal not only a big win for them, but a win that takes them 4th. And we were saying about Oakley being very well placed. So are Barking.
I was following this one on X on Saturday, and I was like, every time I clicked back to it, there was another goal. I was like, what's going on? I was like, I saw Essex on ahead, and I think, oh, here we go. But then about 20 minutes after that, it was 4-1. So, maybe not. We did say last week that this could have been a tricky one for Barking because they'd just lost 2 games in a row as well.
Yeah.
But they kind of went swatted them off somewhat and sort of showed everybody what they can be about, as we knew already. But that's a really good win for them, 6-1, and that was sort of a bit of a wake up call for Essex perhaps, and a reality check that that. But I mean, Barking can put that. Barking can do that to a lot of teams, so and they have done. But
I mean, with Barking, where they are, results like that, especially going for playoffs, possibly even automatic promotion, the goal difference will help. That'll be a plus point for them as well.
Yeah, exactly. And they are joint top scorers in the league as well, 39 goals. So
they are. An interesting point you mentioned about goal difference, Rob. They've got the 3rd best goal difference, plus 15. Yeah, that's definitely in their minds, which is understandable.
Yeah, and it always counts for something, especially when it's just tight. If you've got that advantage, it almost counts on the point, doesn't it?
Yes.
So that could be very important coming in the season.
And obviously, looking down the other end, West Essex are now got exactly the same goal difference as Brentford.
Yeah, no, exactly. Still only 2 points from safety though, so they're not. It's not the end of the world.
No, still a long way to go.
They again, they haven't won at home, have they? It's their home form again.
Yeah.
So
they've got to sort that. It's as simple as that.
They have to. I'm sure they will. They've got very experienced coaches and people there.
Yes.
To get them out of this. So sure they'll be giving it as good as they get.
Welcome to A Chat With, and this week we are joined by Essex FA referee Daniel Mann.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming, Dan. Thanks for coming in the studio as well.
Definitely adds to the ambience.
Logistic wise.
Exactly. First off, how did you first get into refereeing?
So first went into refereeing, I passed my sort of course when I was 17. It was me and my friend did it together, earn a bit of money. I was never really good enough to play for a team. So that was the first starting point. Never played 11-a-side, only like 5-a-side kickabout with the mates. So I thought, how can I stay in the game without just watching from the sidelines? I thought refereeing was probably the perfect pathway to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I've read online about players, where they've not played the game and they want to stay within it. So the next best thing is to obviously go into sort of officiating games.
Yeah.
So
I never had that. I could never be a referee. I will say it now. It's a hard job. And that's what I mean. I never rarely criticise referees because one, I couldn't do it.
Same here.
Yeah.
A lot of people couldn't do it. And a lot. It's funny. There's a lot of people who don't actually know all the rules.
Yeah.
I find that a lot, and I find out a lot of rules from other referees I know.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, why is this? And then they go, oh, I didn't realise that. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, the laws of the game. There's very sort of specific details that if you don't read up on them and keep up to date, then you're not gonna.
And they're always changing.
Have
that
experience to
well,
it.
Case in point, this season the 8-second rule for goalkeepers.
Absolutely.
That's caught a couple of goalkeepers out. So I've seen this season.
Yeah.
So it just shows you if.
It's the application of that as well. It's like how many referees, you turn up to some games and some referees apply it 100% as soon as a keeper's ready to play. They're counting out loud.
Yep.
And some referees, you don't see it. And then you hear the shout of, ref, how long's this taking? And then about halfway through, like, oh yeah, this is a new law. So they need to actually start actually getting it.
Don't tell me the referees forgot.
It happens.
Some of the referees count really slowly as well, I've noticed.
It's like that consistency thing. It's like how long is 8 seconds?
We mention that word every week, but for on-pitch stuff. So it's really interesting to hear the consistency element from the referee's perspective as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Dan, what's the biggest challenge that you've faced when officiating at non-league level? Now, I'm going to caveat that most of your games were in Olympian League, as I understand it.
Yeah. So I started on the Southend Junior League when I first started out, but quickly moved into the Olympian League. Was fortunate enough to make my way into the Premier Division, where I had 2 neutral assistants, which always helps.
Yeah.
Always makes my life so much easier.
Yes.
But I think I did a game for a side in the Prem Division once, and I didn't have neutral assistants, and this is probably the harshest situation I've been in. And it was a case of team A had some spectators, team B had some spectators, and the travelling set of fans, one fan in particular, managed to make his way onto the pitch during the game.
Oh.
Yeah, and this had been building and building, but obviously with spectators, you can't, as a referee, you can't you don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill. So if someone's shouting from the sideline, you can't really go, "Oh, you need to be sent off." You can say, "Oh, I need that player removed," but it just sort of, you try and avoid it because it creates that confrontation. It's like you're the one with the problem. But obviously, when the spectators come onto the pitch,
That's
a completely different ball game. And then from that point, it just sparks, and it was a mass confrontation right in front of the dugouts. And I'm standing there on my own, thinking, I've got to get rid of a spectator, whilst also trying to calm. Don't know who this guy is. Firstly, managers, assistant managers, players are all getting involved. I can't send everyone off, and we've still got a game to finish. Which is about 30 minutes left of a game to play. So, what do I do? And I think as a referee in that situation, you just have to stand and watch.
Yeah.
You do not put yourself in the firing line. Stand back, watch what's happening, and go, right, is there any sort of discipline action that I need to take? My role is to try and complete the game as best as I can. And you have to weigh up, am I still in control, or has this gone past the point of control? I did finish the game, and it was actually quite settled. And after the game, both sides came up and said, you didn't have neutral assistance. You dealt with it as best as you could. Because it just delays, we see it every week. Fixtures get pushed back a week. There's other cup games that come into it. And it's so difficult for non-league clubs, especially at this level, to get all those fixtures in. So I'm thinking, need to try and get this game in, need to try and finish it off to get both sides out.
Dan, you've highlighted something that actually made me think. I've seen, and I'm sure Peter has as well, matches at 50 or so, step 5, step 6, where you see confrontations, let's put it that way, with players. And I do find increasingly, as you've just very well explained there, referees don't get right in the thick of it. They keep their eyes on what's going on, but they wait to the initial, whatever you want to call it, confrontation, ruckus, whatever you want to call it, has abated, and then you call players over for talking tos or bookings. And it's a very helpful explanation of why that is the case. So thank you for that.
That's right, no worries. When you look at, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, referees, even in, I'm talking about the Premier League now, they were getting so involved in these confrontations. Sometimes you have referees pulling players apart. There's no chance myself, or I wouldn't advise anyone to get involved, especially at grassroots level. Don't get involved. Stay well back. Your best judgment comes from when you're settled and away from a situation.
Yeah.
And that's what they tell you, because you've got your whole peripheral vision. You can see keepers come in to run in to give a kick or a punch and then running off again and try and get away with it. Or as soon as you're in the middle and you're surrounded by players, you haven't got eyes in the back of your head.
No.
So you need to be as far away as possible, whilst also trying to maintain a certain level of, vision over that situation.
Is there anything you say to captains before the game, though?
So captains, I always have my sort of blurb that I'll say before a game with the captains.
Yeah.
And it varies from referee to referee. And they might have a referee last week that didn't say anything to them. I'd say, right, lads, have a good game, crack on. And I try and say along the lines of, you're responsible not only for your own head in terms of keeping it and making sure you've got a lid on it,
Yeah.
but also the team, the managers, any spectators. I said, you've got to help me out as much as I'll help you out. And that comes with, things like playing advantage. I'll always try and play advantage, let the game flow.
Yep.
But ultimately, as soon as that sort of relationship between a captain breaks down, I think your game management then becomes individual to player to player. So you then have to do a lot more work in player management. I try and keep it upbeat, laughy, jokey with captains and explain as best I can, but also try and keep the game flowing as much as possible.
That's really interesting because the amount of different styles of referees that we see in games, and I'm not making this sort of, it has to be one way or the other, but sometimes you see referees that sort of blow up for free kicks but keep the cards in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, on the other side of the scale, you see referees that sometimes brandish cards quite early in a game, and it's those sort, more often than not, it's those sort of games where you start to see cards accumulating. So, but whenever I sort of think to myself, it's just one of the sort of nubs for me, really. If I see more than 7 bookings in a game, I'm sort of, no criticism of refs at all, because as we've said already, we're not in a position of isolating what's a booking and what isn't. But it's just intriguing that you don't get that many games where you see sort of 7 bookings or more. But it's just interesting to sort of equate the two things.
And it's especially interesting because sometimes you see those cards are very one-sided.
Sometimes,
not for any particular reason, or I'm not at all saying there's a bias there, but naturally, if you lose the belief of a team in your refereeing ability, it's a lot easier for them to do stuff wrong in your eyes, because they'll go into challenges, especially if they're losing the game, they'll go into challenges a little bit harder and they'll think they can get away with it. But then as a referee, you might feel like you need to get the card out quicker to sort of squash that. It isn't always the case.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to sort of ask that, because it's so interesting how different, obviously, you're all different characters, of course.
Absolutely. Everyone has their own tolerances. And the FA, from when I did my course, was the stepped approach. You sort of let the first one go. If it's not that bad, you have careless, reckless, and excessive force. It's like your 3 categories. But, Joe Bloggs one week might think that excessive force means just like a little push in the back. It's an exaggerated example, but the referee the following week might think excessive force is 2-footed studs up challenge. And it's that consistency from week to week that I think is the real sort of killer of referees' credibility, because players aren't used to, and we see it in the Premier League as well, especially with VAR, you'll have someone on VAR who gives a decision and you think, oh yeah, it sort of makes sense, I can see why. And then next week it's like, well, I'm pretty sure I saw the exact same thing last week. They haven't given it. And it goes all the way from top to bottom in that respect.
I'm just grateful we don't have VAR in
But that's where VAR's flawed, because it's still being operated by humans. The question I've got, the next question I've got is, he's kind of answered half of it already, so I'm going to try and reword it.
Go on.
Yeah. I might ask a question about the lines as well. So you just mentioned about your approach to managing the game flow and obviously having a laugh and try and make it jovial. The other thing is this, how do you keep control without being overly strict?
So I think if again, going back to when I speak to the captains at the start, or if I'm speaking to my neutral assistants, if I've got them, I'll say first 5-10 minutes we'll watch. We will watch the game. We will be spectators ideally, because you want to see, are the 2 teams here today here to play football, or are they here to kick 2 lumps of each other?
Yeah, basically.
And it is one of those sort of, let's watch, let's see what happens. And most of the time, after about 10 minutes, I am getting involved ever so slightly, like even with something as simple as an offside. Offside, we're giving offsides. We're making it nice and clean. And that is our moment as referees to make sure that we are spot on with how we're officiating. Make sure it looks clean. Make sure everything's nice and slow and fluid. And, you know, if it's a throw-in that I've not pointed to the left and my neutral assistant has pointed to the other way, little things like that, just, you know, I'll be pointing downstairs just so that they know what way I'm thinking. But ultimately, if that credibility is in their area, that's their decision. But I think with going back to the strictness, first 10 minutes we'll watch, and then from there we'll release the reins slowly. And if I need to draw it in a little bit more, draw it in. Say, right, you've had your first one, that's it. Speak to the captain, say, look, I've been fair, next one will be a yellow. Little things like that. It's all about communication for me, and just being clear about your standards, how you want to referee the game. And as long as you're open and honest with players, I feel like that goes a long way too. And especially with the dissent side of things, I think you'll get players that will give you dissent whether you're the nicest bloke on the world or whether you're horrible. And that's unfortunately one of the quirks of the game. But in my personal experience, if someone is sort of saying something derogatory towards me, then I'll deal with it as I see fit. But if it is about the game and about my performance, there is a bit of self-reflection there. Oh, ref, you weren't close enough there. Is he right? Yeah, he probably is. I'll say, fine, sorry, needs to get closer. Or if it's a handball, contentious handball decisions. Bane of my life.
No, I don't think anyone knows what handball is anymore.
It's like, oh, ref, was that handball? Or, you know, it's a little bit more aggressive than that. But if I don't see it, I will say I don't see it, I don't know. If it hits their hand, I'll say, in my opinion, not for me. Whereas some people, it will be a blatant handball, and they'll go, no, it hit him here, hit him on the chest, hit him, hit his face. But everyone in the ground knows it's his arm.
Well, yeah, exactly,
Just
including themselves.
Communication and just being honest with how you want to ref it.
Communication is key. When I talked to referees, I know a few of them, and I was like, they're good refs because they talk to the players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you get some refs who just they don't communicate at all, and it's like it's my decision. That's it. No chat, nothing. No, I think that does wind some of the players up. But the refs who communicate are, I think, they're respected as well.
Pete, it's interesting you say that because sometimes I get refs that I don't know, and I'm watching for the first time or second time, and they don't know me, and it's like, and they sort of think, oh, crikey, ground offers or amateur match reporters.
The worst.
We don't want, well.
Not them. I know what you mean.
Thanks. But no, and I sort of say to them, look, in an ideal world, I won't mention you because unless you give a decision that is critical to how the game ends up, you won't get mentioned because I don't like, same as Pete, why would I criticise referees unduly? It's and I'm saying this to refs, hopefully watching this. It's a case of I'm not here to criticise referees. I'm here to watch the game. And sometimes it's part and parcel. Referees make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Players make mistakes. Us amateurs, in terms of media, make mistakes. It happens.
Absolutely, but I don't think referees should be immune to criticism. Especially when it's constructive.
Interesting.
There's a lot to be said for referees that are sort of arrogant in the way they approach games. And you know, I have experienced it where, you know, from my coaching side, you get referees that turn up and they give you all the spiel about what they expect from the game, and then they step foot on the pitch and they don't back anything up that they've said. And I think where if you are being criticised as a referee, you've got two options. You can say, thanks very much for your opinion. Not really willing to listen at the moment, especially if it's during a game. Because you're not gonna sort of write a review when you're at a restaurant and they're making the changes straight away to the menu.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
Yes, of course.
But the other option is, I appreciate that. I'm going to see if I can make a change. Referees can be wrong, and they are wrong a lot of the time. But it's how referees go about dealing with making up for that mistake.
Yeah.
Whether they try and change it in the game or whether they take it away, speak to their referee mentor, because, referees do have mentors,
Yeah.
speak to their county, speak to someone at the league. There's so many avenues to go down to talk through decisions.
It's actually a really interesting point. I know time's against us, but the sort of thing that not many people outside the referees will probably know is that refs, as you say, have mentors, but you also have geographical referees associations, don't you, as well?
Absolutely.
And the role they play is probably quite unheralded in terms of referee development and support, I would imagine.
Yeah, of course. And, you can lead a horse, it's a classic cliche, lead a horse to water, so I can't make it drink. You've got all these opportunities out there for referees to go along, get up to date on the laws, watch decisions that have been captured on VO, because VO is becoming sort of a bit of
Video,
a bit of an issue
Yes.
in some respects. A great coaching tool, but for some referees, if they make a decision, give it 10 minutes, it's straight onto Twitter or X as it's now known.
Do you agree with this decision?
Exactly.
You see it all the time now, and it's like they're under more scrutiny
Yeah.
than before with that.
And regardless of your answer,
Yeah.
why does it matter?
Yeah.
It might have cost a team 1 point, but we haven't got VAR. We haven't got these tools to use to take it back. So I think some players and managers have maybe got just tone it down slightly on what do you think of this decision, because quite frankly, it doesn't really matter.
Well, it's
The game's gone already.
game's
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, just quickly before we move on to the next question, I know you just mentioned like you've got a mentor. Referees have mentors. Do the mentors also help with like the mental aspects of being a referee? The I'll say it, the abuse that you do take on the pitch, whether it be from players or managers or supporters.
Yeah.
For me, I could never do it. That's one job I could never do because I could never deal with the
No, that's the thing.
taking that sort of criticism.
Yeah, absolutely. I think mental health as a topic standalone is spoken about so much.
Oh, yes.
So much. And, I've had my own personal challenges, as I'm sure many people have.
Yeah.
But when it comes to refereeing, there is that support network there. But I don't think on the day you see a man dressed in black with a whistle or a flag, you don't know what's happening behind closed doors.
No, you don't.
No, exactly.
You've got no idea what's happening in that referee's life. And
Absolutely.
And you might say to a referee something that is quite triggering, or might be taken in a way that then affects how the rest of their week goes, because they're then thinking about that decision. And it's so easy for referees to be put off their game effectively and give up. I mean, I did a game sort of last August, September, just after my father passed away. And I arrived and it was my first game back. And I said to both teams and both managers, I said, look, this was a hobby that I shared with my father. So for me, coming back to this is tough.
Yeah.
But I want you to know, because quite frankly, if the tone isn't right in the game, then it's going to put me off. And it was the best game I probably ever had in the sense of the way I refereed it, the communication that I got from the players, because players were then aware of the fact that there was more to just a game of football.
Yeah.
That, I would give a poor decision, a free kick that maybe players didn't agree with. And you saw the anger straight away. It turned in the player, and then they come rushing towards you. Then the captain runs straight over and went, no, leave it, or talk calmly. And that was unbelievable. I thought, why can't all games be like this?
Yeah,
why can't players see what's happening, what could be happening behind these closed doors? That referees aren't going to turn up to every game. I get it, and say, yeah, I've got this issue, because you do get people that will pick up on that and they will try and poke holes and prod and poke the bear. But in the same sense, it works both ways. Referees that are maybe arrogant and turn up with sort of a fight in them that they rule the roost. These players, they're not professionals.
No.
Most of them. They're not getting paid. Some might have played a high level, but they deserve the same respect that you expect as well. And there's a lot going on behind closed doors for every person that is involved in football, from chairman to the dad that's running the line to the person that's making the tea or coffees in the little cafe.
Yeah.
Every walk of life, there's more to it than just a football game.
Well, Dan, on that note, and I'm going to take the amateur media hat off for a second, and I'm going to put the mental health volunteering one on just for a second, and say that their assumptions, as you've explained there very well, are far too prevalent. And I would just make a slight appeal from me. Personal view, don't make assumptions. They not half get you into trouble. So I think Dan explained that better than I did there, but just wanted to add my bit in there as well. My slightly qualified hat on. Right, moving on. Dan, how do you keep up with changes in laws of the game? I'm going to add a little sub-question to this as well, because obviously a few seasons ago we had the introduction of sin bins.
Yes.
And I'd be really interested to hear on what impact you think sin bins have had, as you mentioned, dissent earlier on.
So sin bins, I mean, if I put, swapping hats, sort of, if I, from a coaching perspective,
Yes.
they are awful to have to deal with, because, you can only control your players' reactions to a certain extent. And, these sin bins, I think, are great for education in dissent, and work very well in the younger game, because, kids just want to play.
Yeah.
But once we sort of get to that, I don't know, under 18 level, that's when I would say that the chirpiness really starts.
Yes.
I think in the adult game, it's more so expected. Not that that's right. It's expected. But for me personally, with sin bins as a referee, when they first were introduced, it was a minefield. It was an absolute minefield.
Interpretation again, isn't it?
Interpretation, really? Yeah. I mean, it's dissent by word or action. So I give a decision, for example, player throws his hands up in the air. Is that dissent?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that dissent? Yeah. Is that not dissent? Or is that his frustration? A player, I give a decision, player uses profanity. Is that dissent towards me? Because now what you tend to find is, I'll always ask the question. If a player swears, I'll say, was that to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Gives them a little bit of an opportunity just to think about it.
Yeah.
Was that to me? No, ref, I was just frustrated. Fine, leave it there then. And that sort of sends the message enough. But it's when you get to that stage where you turn around and go, was that directed towards me? And they go, yeah, because you're this, you're that, and the other. And you go, right, that's crossed the line.
That's a symbol.
We now need to deal with it.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
But I think it's good. I think it is good for the game. It's frustrating for players. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely, I can sympathise with players, because, again, at this standard, most players pay to play, and you're taking away that 10 minutes, and you could be taken away a lot longer if it's a sort of repeating occurrence.
Yes.
But yeah, in answer to your question, I think sin bins are good. They have dealt with dissent. Do I think it's going to eradicate dissent within the game? Absolutely not. But again, it goes back to what's happening behind closed doors.
Okay.
Because I do feel that sometimes dissent is driven. I refereed on the Olympian League for probably 3 years now, and you get to know players.
Yeah.
And you know when players are off. And you don't know why they're off, but you just know, you can tell, you sense. You do the same teams nearly every other week, and you can just understand, that's not the usual reaction I'll get. And I think in that sense, it's a lot easier to try and understand and combat. So dissent, we don't like it, but unfortunately I think it is here to stay. Otherwise we'll end up with no players, because they'll all be sat on the sidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the majority of them, at least.
So, what advice would you give someone who is looking to becoming a referee?
Go for it. In the sense of if you're just looking to get into it for a bit of pocket money, if you're a dad or a mum that's trying to help out and understand the game better, absolutely go for it. I mean, yes, there are some bad sides to refereeing, no doubt, and any referee that becomes qualified will have a day where they go, I can't believe that just happened. I'm not going to do this anymore. And I've had days like that, don't get me wrong, but you still come back to it because there is that enjoyment factor of why did I get that wrong? What was the crux of the situation? What can I then do to improve? But I would also advise any new referees to use the tools that are there to help you. Use the sim bin. Just because, if you can't keep track of it, have the card on you so that you can see, right, that's the first sim bin. If it takes 5 minutes to work out that a player should be given a yellow card rather than a red card, fine, so be it. Work it out, get it right, take your time. You're in control. Stop the watch, take your time with stuff, use the tools that are there, because ultimately that's only going to make you better. And if you don't want to use the tools, or you don't feel like you need to use the tools, then maybe you should reconsider your sort of decision to become a referee, because ultimately, in the same way that players are coached, are always improving, referees are exactly the same. If you're not willing to be coached or be reflective on your own performance and evaluate how you've done, then you won't improve and you won't stay up to date with the laws of the game. You won't understand different quirks of players and different ways that teams try and slow the game down, the dark arts. Yeah.
We'll take that on board. Where do you see non-league refereeing heading in the next 5 years?
I think it really does depend on the Premier League. I know we're a long way from it.
Yeah,
but it is reflective of that in the sense that as soon as VAR was introduced, you had the calls from the sideline, in jest, oh, ref, why don't you check VAR? Handball rules, it changed from, you can't score directly from the ball hitting your arm, the shirt sleeve rule, and then you got players wearing long sleeves in the winter, and it's like, well, where does the sleeve end?
exactly.
You sort of just got to try and guess where the sleeve would be. I think non-league refereeing, I like non-league football, full stop.
Yeah.
Any standard. It's so unique. I think it's a trademark of this country in the sense that some of the chants you get a non-league game towards a referee. So, who ate all the pies? You don't hear that anymore at a Premier League game. You got players celebrating goals, contentious decisions. When I go to watch West Ham, for my sins, and they try and score at least, or usually it's a goal against them. The away fans go mental.
I'll have to change one of these quick fire questions now. I know you support West Ham.
and then you see the purple and white screen come up on the big screen saying checking goal, and then it's like, well, now we've got to wait, and then there's a second applause or for either side because either the goal stands or it doesn't. I would like to see that the non-league games, especially within refereeing, get slightly more consistent, especially coaching in the women's game. I know we're here talking about the Olympian League mostly, but in the women's game, I feel like the refereeing standard isn't that great, and that might be a sort of contentious opinion.
It's an opinion, though.
But it's how I feel, and I feel like the men's game, people go into that because they feel it's a better standard. It's more competitive. I completely. I mean, Scott, Pete, you've been over to see some of our games, and you've seen the refereeing performances, and you've seen some of the teams that we play, and the standard is still just as competitive. Yes, the game is slightly different. You know, it's like going to watch a kids' game. That's going to be different as well because you have kick-ins instead of throw-ins. But ultimately, the competitive nature is still there, but the refereeing standard is just slightly falling behind, in my opinion. And I don't know whether that's because it's on a Sunday versus a Saturday, most games. I don't know. I would like to see that just creep up a little bit in the standard.
I think the problem is that some people think because it's a lower division or lower leagues, it's not going to be that good.
Yeah.
That's far from the truth. So, but
Well, it's that word again, isn't it? They're making
assumptions,
Yeah.
and sort of having perhaps along with it, maybe having expectations as well. And maybe it's just a case of go through the game. There are a few games at a certain level where, whether it's men's game or women's game,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then build it from there.
Yeah.
Well, something that Sam used to do on previous shows is come up with like quick fire questions. So,
just to tell you what, Sam.
So I'm going to stand in for Sam for this one. So, quick fire questions. I've got 6 listed, but I think one may tie in with another, so we'll wait for that one.
Here we go. No pressure.
Drum roll.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the best player that you've seen in non-league.
Ooh.
Cool.
See that for you.
Best player. I mean, you've got there's a couple of obvious ones that stand out for me as a West Ham fan, but I'll park those. In terms of Olympian level, one of my favourite players to referee and watch is Patrick Carney for Catholic.
Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Have you two spoke about this before?
Yeah, I was going to say, this Steward's inquiry.
I know, yeah.
We've exchanged folding money, so it's fine.
Of course.
It's
Right,
fine.
okay.
Oh, dear.
Next question.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. All right, the hardest decision you've had to make, penalty or a red card?
Ooh. So this goes back to when I first started out. I think it was just after I've completed my 5 games, which then meant I was a qualified referee. And it was I think it was under 13 girls game. And the keeper's come running out and put a hand out. She's outside the box.
Oh.
Saved it. It was going straight in.
Oh, dear.
And I had to send her off.
Yeah.
And the manager on the sideline saying, come on, it's just kids' game. It's like...
Still apply the rules of
Laws of the game.
Exactly.
Got to learn somehow, haven't they?
Yeah, safe to say, I felt absolutely horrible after.
Yeah. You're allowed to apply the laws, though, aren't you?
You have to apply the laws.
So, yeah.
But there is something to be said about, do you need to do it at that level? It's still a learning process at that age.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I felt that was probably the toughest decision I've ever had to make morally. Trying to think of anything Olympian-wise that decisions I've had to give. To be honest, most of the decisions I give are always feel difficult because of the reaction that it gets. Yeah. There's not one that is in my head that I go, oh yeah, that was a tough decision, or it was difficult. Let's move on to the next one.
Well, maybe
I've got nothing.
Maybe that, on a serious note, though, maybe that's because you've already done the self-reflection for that particular bit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that. I think self-reflection, we've already mentioned it, is so key. So key.
A form of VAR in non-league, yes or no?
I think, how far are we going down into the non-league pyramid here with VAR?
Yes.
Can I see it in the National League? I think so. I think that should be
in time.
Yeah. In time,
yeah.
Absolutely. I think bring in the basics, goal line technology, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's needed, especially with how difficult it is to get back into the EFL. It's it
Yeah.
needs to be spot on. You need to have.
Yeah.
You're not going to get those cameras for VAR and everything like that, but then it is getting covered a lot more, I think, in recent years. So there is more cameras appearing at games.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot more coverage by the media. And as soon as that starts to happen, you then have the sponsorship revenue come into that. You then have other bits and pieces which just kind of amount to this sum of money, and they go, right, are we making enough from this league to warrant putting in VAR? But definitely if I don't know how these systems work, but automated VAR in terms of offsides, if that can happen, goal line technology, I think that would be a game changer, because you do see so many decisions which they're all subjective to a certain extent, because you take what is there in front of you, you get one look, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all.
Even just someone sit on the sideline with a laptop and they just play it back and go, "Oh, actually, that's not right." And it doesn't have to be complicated, does it? It's to me, it's like offsides and goal, ball going over the line are the two major problems. If someone's there to just say, actually, that was a goal or wasn't, or that wasn't offside, and clear it up, mate. That's the problem with VAR as well. It takes so long.
Yeah.
For decisions to make. It's just that's wrong or that's right.
Yeah.
Next.
I mean, goal line technology is completely different insofar as it's black and white.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you don't have that confusion over it.
What's intriguing for me with this is the further down the levels you go. I mean, I can totally get what you mean about National League, but the further down you go, the more central funding it will require. So I'm glad you didn't ask us this question. VAR in non-league, because I know pretty much what I would be saying. But...
I'll remember it next week.
No.
I'm not boy.
No, you won't. No, but it's an interesting point, because the more technology you have of whatever description, whether it's goal line, semi-automated offsides, etc., it's going to need central funding. And yes, I'm looking at you, the FA, to actually do that further down the levels. So maybe the upper echelons of non-league, which are, let's be honest, in some facets getting quite similar to the lower echelons of the Football League, maybe, but further down the levels, that's, I think, got more of a question mark attached to it.
Yeah. I think in the leagues where you're seeing players paying to play, you're never going to see anything like VAR in that level.
No.
I think the closest thing that will ever get to VAR is the armchair referees that comment on Twitter and say, "What do you think of this decision?" That's probably the closest you're going to get to VAR.
Exactly.
And it might still be wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably still wrong anyway, like, isn't it? Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. Right, penultimate question. One rule that you would change if you could.
Oh.
I would change the handball rule, and I would just make it black and white. Hit the arm, free kick. Don't no more questions asked.
Yes.
Again, it comes down to subjectivity of where does the arm start, blah blah blah, and it all relies on the referee seeing that decision.
Yeah.
But none of this, if it hits their arm and then falls to them and then they score, no goal. If it hits their arm and then they pass it to someone else and then they score, that's then subjective, then goes to VAR and they start looking at it and going, was it handball, was it not? Arm, free kick.
That's it.
Let's go again.
If everyone knows, then that makes it much easier, doesn't it? Because nobody seems to know what handball is anymore. That's the problem.
And it seems so easy for the FA to do something about that.
Oh, yeah. When has the FA ever done anything sensible?
No, that's right.
Or logical?
There is that.
So,
right. Final question. The extra one I have got is dependent on this question, actually. So,
okay, here we go.
Biggest pet tie break?
Yeah, the biggest pet peeve on the pitch.
Biggest pet peeve for me on the pitch is. Well, there's a few. How long have you got?
Not that long.
There's
first one that comes to mind. Go on.
Cut socks.
Oh, well, that's the last question out of the way then.
Cut socks in the sense that they're not then covered with tape. You know, you see some players where you're getting halfway up the shin and the cut sock is up there with the grip socks, which, probably make them slightly more agile. I don't really know the science behind it, but the science is that you should have colour all the way down because it makes it easier for referees, because the whole idea of different colour socks is when it is a contentious decision, for me, I'm looking at the colour of the leg that it comes off.
Yeah.
And more recently, it's just been white because it's grip socks, and that's all you're seeing.
Yeah.
Just makes me think of this recent development, which has been doing the rounds, the micro shin pad.
Yeah, was just about to mention that.
Oh, sorry, Rob. But
that's right. That's
The
right.
custard cream. Like about
Yeah.
that.
Might as well not wear anything.
Yeah. I mean, back in my day, I used to have the shin pad that was like you had the two bits on the side of the ankle. Yeah, the shin pad was about that big.
You took me about an hour to put it on.
I'd put it on over my foot, and I had the ankle protection, and the shin pad literally the whole shin.
Yeah. I'm really pleased everyone can remember it off. Just what I was too old.
No, I didn't.
But that's really good. Yeah,
You know,
made my night. That's.
I'm not that far off you. so I remember that. Yeah.
But we're always, you know, with head injuries and things like that,
Yeah.
you know, you have to stop the game. Player safety. And it's always player safety, player safety, player safety.
Yeah.
Shin pads?
Yeah.
Are the FA sort of turning a blind eye to shin pads in the sense that they're not bringing regulations to say they have to cover a certain...
I think it's Ilfracombe, isn't it? I think the team
Yeah.
that's actually said you're not playing in those at all.
I get it. As far as players will probably want to get you're saying about agility, want to get a minor speed advantage, but is it really worth? And I'm sorry, I don't want to get on my soapbox, but is it really worth the minor speed advantage you would get when, especially the amount of tackles that fly in the game? Do you really want to sacrifice that shin pad protection? I mean, for me, no.
Think about that, though, do you?
Yeah. I mean, it's speed and agility against the potential of a football career ending.
Yeah, it just
broken leg.
Makes no sense to me.
Well,
Sorry,
if I have a player with a stud missing, I'm telling them to change their boots.
Yeah.
If I've got a player with what looks like half a shin pad missing, I'm not saying anything. And that's
You're right. That is
So just out of interest, with Ilfracombe, as a referee, if they've said no player, home or away, is allowed to play with micro shin pads, do you enforce that, or do the club enforce that
for the home team?
I'm not sure if it's for the away team. Again, I'm not 100% sure.
We obviously are under the directive of the FA and IFAB in terms of what consists of match equipment. If sort of clubs implement their own policies and procedures, I guess we have a responsibility to respect those, but not at a detriment to the game.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. I mean,
grey area, perhaps.
Yeah, it needs to be. It needs to be sort of discussed as to whether it's a yes or no.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from IFAB and the FA, the governing bodies.
Fair days.
Just like the heading, you know, kids not being able to head.
Not being able to head at all. That's right.
I think that should be the same, because we see it now. You go to an under 9-10 game, and they've all got grip socks on, and they've got these shin pads that are tiny, and you think that's because they've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's a learned behaviour. If you had, if again, it all starts at the top. If you have players at the top league wearing massive shin pads, wearing full length socks, that's going to filter down, and soon you'll see the change where players are wearing massive shin pads, and
exactly.
It's all learnt behaviours.
It's become normal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Right. I think that is all we have for you.
No,
so
thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
It's been very informative.
Very
good. Very good. Yeah.
And we've got to say, probably one of the most dapper guests we're likely to have.
Well,
Thank you very much. Well,
very smart.
It helps
a lot.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Right. That's it.
Okay. The final part of the show will be the fixtures for Saturday, the 29th of November, and all 10 games are on Saturday. There are a couple of 2 p.m s, but we'll we'll mention that as we go along. Barking, well, this is potential for to be game of the day.
Whew, yeah.
They welcome Soul Tower Hamlets to Maysbrook Park. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's a 6 pointer.
On a 3G as well. I mean, crikey! I know we shouldn't sort of preempt games too much, but don't be surprised if that is a absolute hammer and tong, both sides going end to end.
Mm-hmm.
That could be. This could have goals in it.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's going to have goals in it, but I don't think you can actually call it either way.
No, I'm not going to.
No, neither am I.
It's impossible.
Don't be daft. We're risk averse. Risk averse in this case.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But Barking want to get their home form back on form on tracking because they've lost two at home in a row. So
They have, but then they've scored 21 and only conceded 8.
Yeah, I know.
But then
the Hamlets haven't lost away from home.
Exactly, but then they are playing Hamlets.
They've scored 20, conceded 7 away from home.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. It's just like it's two teams who've got brilliant records in there.
This is really interesting for me because we said this several weeks ago about Hamlets are going to have to win games in a different way.
Yeah.
If they continue the attacking but slightly open-ended style against a team like Barking, might come unstuck.
They might come unstuck, yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely game of the day for me.
It's
it's
a monumental game, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Sol won't be happy with the fixture secretary, will they? Little Oakley followed by Barking. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would give Barking a slight, make them slight favourites because they're.
You're braver than me for saying that, to be honest.
But
I'm not so sure about that, but we'll see, won't we?
Be a great test.
Saturday night.
It'll be a great test for both sides.
I know. I'll be following it on X from Norway. Going. Very interesting. Baz United, or Basel United, to give their full name. They welcome Harwich and Parkston to the Hive. That's both next to each other. They've both got the same number of points.
Yeah, 13th v 14th, 19 points each.
Intriguing. Basden will want to bounce back from losing at home to Buckers Hill, but yeah, Harwich gave a good count to Zach Silbury by all accounts, because our away form hasn't been that good of late. Although the 2 games did lose away 3-0 were at Barking and Woodford, so you can't really. They're 2 difficult games. This one This might be a bit more of a barometer for them, but I think it'll be a hard one against Basden. Obviously, they've been not too bad form lately, so.
Yes, and that is one of the 2 o'clock kickoffs.
Oh yeah, that's
as well.
2 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, I forgot about that bit.
No, it's you're right. It's an intriguing game though because, as you say, Pete, Basildon's sort of home form is sort of going up the curve in a good way for them, and I think they're scoring goals at home as well, which they weren't at the start of the season so much. So yeah, Harwich for me, you've already identified it, Pete. They've got to stop conceding 3 goals away from home.
Yeah.
If they can do that, then they'll be well in this match. But yeah, it's whether they can do that.
Exactly. Build on that win at home last week.
Yes.
Buckhurst Hill, we're going for a 5th straight win in November. And they welcome a tricky Athletic Newham to Roding Lane though. This will be an interesting contest because Newham have give as good as they get. So
the other thing as well, it's massing him up against his former club.
Exactly.
So that will add to the intrigue as well.
Yeah, that's that's another intriguing battle.
It is.
Yeah. If Buckhurst still win, they could potentially be even close to the playoff places. But
yeah,
that won't be an easy one. I think Newham are a dangerous side, as I said before. So
yeah.
Great Wakefield Rovers are home. A lot of teams at home again this week. And West Essex are the visitors to Barrows Park. So they're playing the bottom 2 at home 2 games in a row. So
they'd be more thankful to the fixture sector.
They might like the fixture a bit more than Soldier at the moment. Yeah,
I think they'll wanna put this to bed early, and I think they'll want to score more than the goal against a struggling West Essex side as well.
Because the one thing that West are doing slightly more than Brentford is scoring goals, so I think that's spot on. Yeah,
West have got a better record away from home though, but Wakering at home are good outfit. So
yeah.
I think that's going to be hard for West Essex to get anything from that. But as I said, I'm not predicting anything. I just did. Hackney Wick welcomed Benfleet to Spa Road.
Yeah, this could be a good game.
I want to call them all. Say every week. So I want to
that
call
one. I think I say this to Pete quite often, but some games you get that are sort of underrated gems. That could be one of those.
Yeah, they're very tight. They're very close together in the league as well. There's only a point between them.
Yeah,
right in the mid-table. So one of those many teams who are hoping to mount a playoff charge from outside. So yeah, it's impressive. That's a genuine 6-pointer, I think, as well.
It
is. Yeah, and that's another one you can't call.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is what I mean. Yeah, like every game, pretty much.
Definitely not.
House of Town. Will be hoping for another big crowd at Rosemary Lane. I'm sure they'll get one.
Yeah.
Welcome a Romford side who obviously had that miraculous fight back on Saturday, but I mean they've won 4 games away from home. They're a better side away than they are at home, but
yeah,
House is a tricky place to go.
They're playing House to do equally as strong at home though.
Yeah,
only lost 1.
Exactly.
I think that Romford have the potential to make it tricky for Helsted, but I also think what you've said there is right.
Yeah,
Helsted are one of those teams. I mean, I would say, and I say this as a positive, miserly defensively, especially at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, Romford are really gonna have to play well.
Yeah, I mean, because they continue 10 at home in 9 games. So it's not many.
Yeah, but I mean, Romford did show good character against Ensign. So
yes, they did.
You know, they're bringing something into the game, but on paper,
it's style well, don't they? They get behind the 8 ball quickly, and it's going to be a hard afternoon for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of which,
Holbridge, who have got the worst home form in the league, welcome Woodford Town to Lower Road.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. That's going to be a hard one, isn't it, for them?
Yeah.
Yes.
But who better to notch up their first win of the home win of the season?
It's going to come at some point.
You know, against the top 3 side at the moment. So, well, you're right.
Who just lost 4-1 at home to Walden? So they're going to be a little bit
jaded,
chomping at the bit. I know you're right, maybe. Like me, they're going to win. They'll be chomping. I think they'll be chomping a bit to get back to winning ways, and Shane will have them fired up for that. And they'll look at it and say, "This is a game we shouldn't lose." Is what they'll be saying.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying anything.
No, I think
division like
for me, absolutely. But I think Holbridge's case, Sammy and Hayden will be saying to them, "Look, the pressure is on Woodford because at the end of the day, they are playoff chasing. Or better, probably, certainly playoff chasing. But you know, they'll be looking at the top spot now as well. As Pete says, that first win is going to come." And I just think that a couple of games that I've seen Holbridge play, they can make it difficult for sides. And if they can do that against Woodford, I agree with you, Pete. If Woodford start very strongly, they'll be very hard to dislodge as far as getting anything off them, points wise. But you know, it's an interesting one that for Holbridge. I think they'll certainly prefer that one at home rather than away.
Yeah,
certainly.
I mean, I know you said that the pressure's off. At Holbridge, but they've still got to look over their shoulders at West Essex and Brentford. That is true. But the other side of the coin is the fact that West Essex and Brentford have got really tough asks this weekend.
Yes.
So
true.
But the chance is there.
Yep.
Holbridge win that can put some light between them and West Essex. So,
indeed, as you say, West Essex are at Great Wakering. Brentford are a Little Oakley.
Yeah, that's
at the Memorial Ground.
toughie.
or the War Memorial, where it is. Yeah, that is a really hard game for Brentford.
Yeah.
That was the first. That was the first place they played Senior League game. That one.
It was, because I watched that one.
A couple of years ago. Was it a couple
Yeah,
of years
I watched
ago?
that one.
You went
Yeah.
to the where they lost
I watched
2-0.
that one. Yep.
Oakley have obviously come on leaps and bounds since then.
Yep.
But obviously struggling. Well, their away form says it all.
Well, I mean, Brentford have scored 5 and Little Oak
It's hard to
conceded 5.
It's hard to see anything other than a home win here.
Well, on the note of the stats, most miserly defence up against the weakest forward line.
Yeah.
So again, you sort of think, well, somebody's got to give there, and yeah, I think Brentford might be slightly buoyed though by how they managed.
They've got to be.
Yeah.
Got to be.
No, seriously though, because
Yeah.
I don't think many would have said, "Oh, you only shipped 1 goal to a side as prolific goal scoring wise as Wakefield."
Yeah, totally.
So they've got to sort of think, right, can we do the same again? If not, and then pinch a goal on the break.
Just got to make it difficult, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, they do.
And the longer it goes without Oakley getting a goal, they'll start to feel the pressure.
The more pressure will build for Oakley.
If Brentford don't start well in this game, then it's going to be a tough afternoon.
Yes, that much is true.
But yeah, so another hard one. And Brentford won't like the fixture secretary. She's going to be on the side of someone, not on the others. I'm only joking.
Probably won't like us after 3 mentions of that.
I'm only joking. It's all right. Yeah. The next game, Caton's Lane, 2:00 kickoff. This one, I remember this time. Saffron Walden Town host White Ensign. I mean, Ensign will be smarting from throwing a 3-goal lead away last week in 6 minutes. Obviously, Walden have just coming into this off the back of a 4 win at Woodford, so their confidence will be high.
Yeah.
Doesn't always mean they'll win the game, but I think, yeah.
Well, so on that note, Pete, they've got that brilliant win at Woodford, but their home form is something that they'll be looking to address. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
2 wins from 7 home games thus far, if you break it down.
Unlike Walden at Caton's Lane.
Yes, it is.
Normally their home form is very solid.
Yes.
It's been anything but this year. It's very mixed.
Yes.
That's why I don't know if this will be as straightforward as people might think, because Ensign are one of those teams that can ruffle a few feathers. So,
Yeah.
I think that might be a close.
Ensign still haven't had that consistency this season, have they?
No,
and that's obviously showing in the fact that they're 12th.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got goals in them.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I was just going to say, I think Ensign, if they can sort of mimic last week's goal scoring performance, they'll be like, right, will be another difficult opposition for Walden to face. So,
yeah.
Cool. The final game of the weekend, and oddly, was a fixture last week. It's been reversed because Sporting Bengal now host Ilford, which is a bit weird. But anyway,
we're going to mention the fixture.
I'm not going to mention. I'm not saying a word. No. It's just very interesting how it's worked out like that. So Sporting and Ilford do battle once again. So Sporting will know that they've given them more than a decent game last week, and now they're back at Mile End. They may fancy getting something from this game, but it's against an Ilford team who haven't lost for about a month and a half.
I mean, the thing with Ilford going into this game is that they now know a little bit more about Sporting Bengal.
Yep.
So, but yeah, again, it works both ways. But yeah,
I know. I mean, they know what. I think they would have known what they're about before, but even more so now. But Ilford just haven't. They haven't been losing games, have they?
No.
In the league, at least.
No.
Or anything really. So,
no. And like you say, you mentioned it before, miserly. You know, they're where they are now, and the run they're on now because they're not actually conceding that many.
I mean, Ilford, because if results go Ilford's way this weekend, which some top sides are playing, it probably won't, but they could potentially be joint second with Little Oakley.
Mm.
I'm not saying it because, I mean, those teams above them have got games they probably should be winning, but still,
So-
it's quite a...
On that note, and sorry, dull stats corner alert, I know, but Ilford, 4th best defence
Yeah,
in the league.
yeah.
Don't think many would be saying
think-
that.
And when we say a good side is based on a good defence,
Yeah,
Mhm.
the
absolutely.
fact they're not conceding many goals and they're getting them the other end is why they've been on such a long unbeaten run.
That's league only. Before anyone says you're not talking about all competitions,
Yes, it's
I'm talking
league
about
only.
only.
Yeah, because they did ship 4 in a cup
Yeah.
game, but that doesn't count because that wasn't the league. So
I get it sometimes. It's like,
That's right.
but I think some of these cup games you got to be a bit, because sometimes they do make changes.
We'll,
so.
we'll put a message up. We'll put a message up on the screen about that one.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Before you say anything, yeah,
like you're
so-
thinking. Like you think.
yeah, it was an intriguing game though. Again, after
Season.
last week, it was quite a tight game last week. It's probably be another tight game. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I would agree.
Right, first show is wrapped up. So thank you very much, chaps.
Thank you.
We will see you guys next week for the same show. Oh no, we won't see you next week, will we?
I'm off for the next 2 weeks.
Yep. So we'll see Sam back next week.
Yep.
He said
No, I
he's going
should
to
be
come
here
into the
next week.
studio, so that'll be good.
Yep.
And we'll obviously see you guys next week. So
Thank you for watching.
Enjoy your football.
Indeed. Take care.
Hear the song. Boots on turf, hearts ablaze. The pitch is ours, it's time to amaze. Every tackle, every pass, moments that will forever last. The back post, where legends rise through the roar under open skies. The back post, it's where we belong. Feel the power, hear the song. Boots on turf, hearts ablaze. The pitch is ours, it's time to amaze. Every tackle, every pass, moments that will forever last. 1, 2, 1, 2, the back post, where legends rise through the roar under open skies. The back post, it's where we belong. Feel the power, hear the song. Boots on halftime field, send bass rumbles, crowd cheers, swell. Run for the